Good afternoon, everyone. This is Micah here with Ghost Armor, episode number 14. Appreciate everyone and the feedback from last month's episode. Today's a good one. Actually, my wife gave me this title, and I feel like this episode could benefit everyone from the jiu-jitsu world to work, to business, to family, to school. And today's title is called To Make a Friend, Be a Friend. And this principle came to me a few years ago, actually, reading a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And it's really, really simple in a sense. And that quote I actually received from John Wooden, who was an NCAA basketball coach who saw a lot of success on the court, won 10 NCAA titles. But to make a friend, to be a friend, quite simply, you got to learn how to be a friend. And I feel like in today's society, and even growing up as a kid, we don't know enough about that, or we think just to be a friend you got to be nice, but it goes a little bit deeper than that, but it's very, very simple. So one thing that we need to know when dealing with people is that as human beings and creatures, that we're not always creatures of logic, but creatures of emotion. And so when we're dealing with people at work, dealing with people in school, in jiu-jitsu, family life, girlfriend, marriage, is that we are emotional creatures, and our decisions and choices and our energies are based off of our emotions. So we need to keep that in mind. I find that's a healthy perspective to keep if things are going wrong, or if someone rubs off of you the wrong way, is that emotions are involved, so you got to keep that perspective. So when thinking about that and knowing that, one of the next best things outside of emotional creatures is that as human beings, the number one thing that we want more than anything is to feel important. And so unfortunately, with a lot of that comes selfishness, and that is usually fueled by ego, low self-image, and the sense of pride. And a lot of people think that they need to be number one to feel important, and they go about their way doing it, and sometimes not always the best ways. But just some tips here on how to influence, how to impact, and be that one that people actually enjoy to be around. Number one, you do have to submit your ego. You got to keep it in check. If you can admit when you're wrong, that's a really big deal. Most people don't like that feeling of feeling, whatever that means. But you don't want to feel like you're being punished. And so most times we like to blame because we don't want it to come back against us. But if you can learn just to be that, to step up on somebody else and admit when you're wrong, it goes a long, long, long way. The other thing that we can do is learn people's names. Very basic principle, but learn people's names. One of the tactics that I use is often to say, hey, what's your name? Or your name's John. I know this is an example, but how do you spell John? Just so that name becomes ingrained in my brain, because how often do we go about, oh, nice to meet you, John, and then 2 minutes later you forget his name's John. But just ask them, hey, how do you spell that? J-O-N or is it J-O-H-N? Oh, J-O-N? Great, thanks, John. And give it a pronouncement, because the worst thing that you can do is mispronounce somebody's name or forget their name. It's like the number one insult to a human being, because that's what we build ourselves off of. For Pete's sakes, Russell Wilson and Sierra just gave birth to their son, and they named him Win, W-I-N. There's significance in a name. So you want to know the name, you want to respect the name, and if someone knows that you put the time and the effort to remember their name, you're building credibility and buying into that individual. So you want to remember their name. Admit when you're wrong, remember their name, and really learn to take your eyes off of yourself and put them forward first. So again, How to Win Friends and Influence People, this book was put together a few years ago, but there was a study done by the telephone company out of New York City, and they surveyed some 5,000 phone calls. And within those 5,000 phone calls, the word or the letter I, as in I did this, or I saw that, or I want this, was pronounced more than any other word multiple times over again. We're always making it about ourselves. So, to be an impact player, to influence people, to make friends, what I would do, don't make it about the I, make it about them. Take the I out of the equation. That's some of the things that people who, unfortunately, who are insecure, who are looking to find that role of importance, they make it about the I. Don't do that. Be bigger than that. Take the I out. Make it about them. Ask them questions. Learn about them. You can make more friends over the course of 2 months than you could over the course of 2 to 3 years not making it about yourself. So how to win friends, influence people, to make a friend, be a friend, make it about them, admit when you're wrong, learn their names, and just be a leader, be an impact player. So anyways, that's what I have. How to make a friend, how to be a friend, how to influence people, how to impact people, to make a friend, be a friend. Quite simply, that's enough. I feel like if we can go out there and do this on a daily basis, Monday to Friday, consistent day in and day out, we're just gonna be living in a better spot. So anyways, hope that helps. Any questions, let me know. Appreciate your feedback. Ghost Armor episode number 14 is out. You guys take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.